Welcome back to another episode of Cod Tales Podcast. Once again, it's another bonus episode because me and Dane cannot keep our mouths shut at the moment.
Nah, mate, we're too excited. Too excited about what's been happening.
Spring bite, on fire.
On fire. And yeah, we get to talk about the COVID Cup. We mentioned it a couple episodes ago. Finally got to do it. Oh, my Lord, was it good fun.
Oh, mate, cracking weekend. Plenty of fish. So good.
Good times, couple of pranks, all the rest.
Yeah. Dibble a little bit cod in the river and how to avoid them during the close season.
Yep.
You can chase yellows, you can chase other species, so leave the big girls alone.
Yeah, that's right. Just how to really get into that niche yellow belly targeting season so you're not harassing the big girls.
Got a few stories from our listeners that we've read out. Absolutely cracking stories.
Yep, fantastic.
Insane. And we dibble a bit about my incident in the shed. So with a bit of a hook in my leg. So listen up.
Stay tuned for that.
Righto, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Cod Tales Podcast. I'm Az.
And I'm Dane.
And we're here to rip a few lids off some beautiful tasting cans and talk a bit of stuff about...
what do we talk about here? Fishing.
Well
Try
said.
to, at least.
Well said.
Mate, it's been a busy couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Mate, I've been flat out scratching myself. I've done that much fishing. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's actually been good. And probably the first thing to mention, we did the COVID Cup.
That we did, which is, I think we spoke about this in the previous ones. It's a bit of a friendly one. We're all mates and get and just catch up with each other and try and catch a few fish in between tins.
When the boys aren't too hungover.
Yeah, there was
some sore heads cracking around on a Saturday morning, that's for sure.
Including myself. I think I actually, I went back and had a 2-hour nap in the middle of I caught one fish.
You got the monkey off your back and then...
I lasted about half hour on the water and, I went back and had a kip. I was no good.
Yeah, unreal. Just to set the scene for everyone, so COVID Cup, everyone rocks up. They bring a case of beer as entry fee. The winning team takes all the beer home. How many blokes do we have there? 12?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, 12.
There's a lot of beer.
I've seen double of them by the end of Friday night. But everyone brings a case of beer. That's your entry fee. Winners take all. They split it amongst them. And then there's a mystery prize that Banksy organises every time. So this year was some awesome Yeti stubby, like Yeti Coldsters with engraving on it.
And we picked out a few pink ones too this time.
Nice hot pink ones. Think Barbie hot pink.
Oh, yeah. And we had one for the shittest skipper. Of Burrendong COVID Cup 2023.
Yep.
And there was 2 shittest anglers.
Shittest co-anglers, yeah.
Shittest co-anglers, yes.
So to win those bad boys, you had to have a bag of 10, but the smallest bag of 10.
Yeah.
Unreal. So, mate, you took out the big prize, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Being the home dam, I'm not surprised, and... being my home dam, I came dead last.
Yeah, you do get that. Oh, it was pretty good. We always draw. So as being the COVID Cup, it's a random draw. You rock up on the Friday night.
That's right.
All the captains that own boats, they draw their team out of a hat, and lucky enough, Mick Hayden drew me first.
Yep.
And he's got a 21-foot Phoenix with a 250 on the back. So
let's go.
We could haul some.
That thing is fast. That is bloody fast.
Its cruise speed is 115.
Yeah, it's a beautiful boat. Absolute beautiful boat. Then we had Ray White. He picked Lorso.
Old Lorso.
He brought his little mascot along.
It had a few dances.
Around the campfire, don't you worry.
Yeah, it did.
Then I managed to pick Banksy.
Yep.
And then
not the first time you've actually teamed up with Banks in a comp, either.
No, it's been a couple of times now. Yeah. Mardo picked Brad Nivo. and got him on the boat.
Yep.
Which we'll circle back to a story about that in a second. But and then our good old J-Rod jumped on board with you boys as well.
Yeah, because Mick had the biggest boat, he got to draw 3.
Draw 3.
Jared got his first taste of catching some yellers.
So pretty much we rocked up the Friday night. We didn't even put the boats in the water on the Friday night. I think we got there about 5, sun setting up camp.
Yeah.
And then Aaron has the fantastic idea of pulling out the fucking beer pong table, doesn't he?
It comes with me, mate. If there was a beer pong table you could fold up and put in your pocket, it'd go with me every day of my life.
And I'm not talking like it's just a fold-up table from Bunnings. This thing, it's got all the little cup placements laid out. It's got right length, right width and height and everything. It's like, oh, right, oh, geez, he's not fucking around here.
The rules are placed. No elbows over the table.
Yep, no elbows over the table. Bounce or on the full. Let's go. You're allowed a redemption. You're allowed to blow out of the cup if it's spinning around the rim.
There was quite a few rounds of that played that night.
Yeah, there was quite a few. It got a bit messy. A lot of chatting shit and drinking beers.
Yeah, yep. That was
And probably the person who drank the most beers, old Daddy Mardo.
Yeah, he really wound him into himself. He definitely got best and fairest and best on ground.
Best on ground for sure.
Oh, Lord.
So much so, the next morning, didn't manage to make it to his boat. So old Brad Nivo jumped on with me and Banksy, which is pretty good because I think Banksy slept on the back deck most of the day Saturday.
You're pretty much paired up with Nivo.
No, it was good fun. A couple of the boys and I think slept on the Friday night.
Yeah, no, there wasn't much wink there.
Kicking the coals all night and drinking beers and talking crap.
Quite nice, actually.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think I called it about 4:30. Got woken up by the boys about 6:30. And I was like, righto, let's get into it.
Yeah. It was good, mate. It was a bit of an edge bite. A few of the boys played with the trees, but mate, that edge bite was next level. It was really good when you found them.
Not that I did, but unreal.
It was good. Mickey Hayden, he got an absolute horse on the Saturday. I think.
What'd it go? 624, 623?
Yeah, it was 620 or 630, something like that. Yeah, really good fish and just solid. Like, she was a proper fish.
Yeah.
And, he was over.
Put a saddle on it and ride it, mate.
100%. Like, he was a cracking fish. And we went back and we had a little side bet in our boat.
Oh, that's right. The side bet in the boat.
I can't remember who started that. It might have been Jared.
I think it was Jared. Jared's like, righto, $50 each, boys. Let's go. Biggest yellow for the weekend.
Yeah.
And I think at that point after Mick caught that 623, you're like, well, it's all over. But
right down. Like,
what happened?
Oh, some
last day
fucking arsehole ended up on the Sunday boat at 650. Won't mention his name, will we?
Oh, yeah, might start with A and end in Z.
Yeah, I felt bad. I'm not going to lie. Poor old Mick, he fished really well. Like, he's a really good fisherman.
Yeah,
like, it's the first time I've actually... All the years I've known Mick, it was the first time I fished with him on the same boat.
Oh, right, there you go.
So it's really cool. He learnt from me, I learnt from him. It was crazy how similar we actually fished. It was mind-blowing.
Really? Like, even though you've never fished together and never really had... Oh, you've always had something to do with each other through tournaments and that. But
always camp and talk shit around a fire. You know what? I was over the moon for him to catch that big girl. And, yeah, the Sunday... I just got lucky enough. I had one solo fish on the edge. And, it turned out to be a 650.
Because didn't you and Jared call it for a cod or something?
Man, I thought it was. I couldn't lift the fucking thing. Yeah. It was just so heavy. Like, I was like, it's been a while since I've had like, I pulled 620s up. I caught a 620 with you the other week.
Yeah, 610 I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, and like I had nothing on this thing. Like, it was just pure weight. And I hooked it at the front of the boat. Now, Mick's got a 21-foot Phoenix.
Beautiful.
By the time I landed it, I was on the back deck and I ended up back halfway up the boat by the time we got to the neck. Because there was a lay down where it was. And every time I lifted his head, he buried his head back into this lay down. And I was like, I'm never going to get this thing out. Look, it's just...
Yeah. Played up like a second-hand lawnmower.
That it did, mate. Yeah. Real good fish. And I remember I don't know, Mick or Jared netted it, and I just looked at Mick and I said, "Sorry,
bud."
Like, fuck. And I could see he was happy. Like, he was like, "Holy shit!" And I said,
Yeah.
I think I just took the 150. Slept on the brag mat. Yeah, she was a proper one.
Hey.
And it was really good. Like, I can't remember. I think it was 45 minutes to go before packing up.
And you managed to do that.
Yeah.
You bloody seagull.
And get this, it was probably 20 metres from where his 620 come from.
Oh, right. Same place. Big fish hang together.
Yeah, they were on the exact same bank, same point. And, both the big girls come from there. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. But we had a little session right in the main bowl. It was nearly a fisher cast, but they were all the school yellers.
Yeah. So if you're going for the Yeti holders, that's what you wanted to do.
Mate, we had a fat time. We only spent about half hour there and would have caught 15, 20 fish. And we were just like,
so good.
Let's go back. Campfire sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Now, there's a few funny moments on the boat, wasn't there? Someone had to look for a gulp rod or something.
Yeah,
So run me through that little ordeal, mate.
Well, I was in no state to be fishing.
This was a Saturday morning.
Yeah, Saturday morning, and went out and we'll throw an edge, and then there was a tree, and I said to Mick, like, this is before I've even gone back to have a sleep. I said, I need to get the monkey off my back. Go to this tree. We'll grab one off it, and I'll probably go and have a sleep. Well, I picked my gulp rod up and, spun around the boys. And I'm like looking around the boat. I'm like, where's my rod? Like, where is my rod? And I think I had all three of us looking at one stage like, where the fuck is this thing gone? Like, it was sitting on the deck and I'm like.
The boys are probably thinking, what rod's he after?
Yeah.
Which rod?
And I've gone, oh, well, fuck it. Is it ended out the drink or what? And, it turned out the thing was in my hand the whole time. So that was me clue number one of going, go have a sleep.
Yeah, you need a bit of a kip there, mate.
Yeah. No. Such a good weekend.
But that wasn't the only shenanigans over the weekend. Holy dooly, did the boys play up a little.
Yeah.
Mate, we had, so when we pulled up, you could just smell dead carp on the bank. You're like, oh, yuck. Well, Banksy decided that these carp weren't in the right place. They needed to go to a different home. And where'd they end up?
In our live well.
These dead old dried up carp ended up in old poor Mick's live well.
Yeah, I remember the phone call after I caught my fish. He actually rang me
Yeah.
on your boat and he's like, he's caught any fish yet? And I'm like, matter of fact, I'm just getting the lure out of one now. And he's like, oh, you're going to live well? I said, why are we live well? I said, I'm just throwing it back, slapping on the bag in. I didn't click. I knew exactly why he said putting in live well because he wanted me to see these carp that had more insects than it did scales on it.
It was getting a bit rank.
Yeah, by the end of it, we met up with you guys. I went and had a sleep and it was about midday.
Yep.
And, Banks like, you checked that live well yet? And I was like,
why is he mentioning this again?
I sunk. I was like, what's he done? Like, opened her up. And these carp were that dried out and smelly, they stood upright like they were in a freezer. Oh, it's no good.
Yeah, that's rough. That is rough.
I'll tell you what, Banksy won the best for that. The best pranks all weekend. Mate, he
best
got
pranks
me
all weekend for sure.
before I even started fishing. He cut all my leaders off from the reel. I had like 4 rods and I got out there to fish the first bank and I had no leaders, no nothing. I was like, I'm in no state.
To tie some leader knots.
Yeah.
So what'd you do to his reels, mate?
Well, he's I caught him good actually. It was quite nice because I realised what he did before we took off and I snuck over the boat. You were actually in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this.
No, I wasn't.
Were you?
No.
Oh, I was very sneaky then.
I came around the back of the car and I saw you leaning in. What are you doing? Oh, nothing, mate. Righto, bud. Whatever.
Well, Banksy had all his rods in your boat and he didn't have the reels on the rods. So I was like, oh, shit, I can't get him back. And I'm like, well, there's only one place he'd have his reels. So I opened up his tackle bag, and here's 3 or 4 reels. And I said,
hello.
Beautiful. So I pulled all the leaders off and I give him a snip and wound them all back on and just chucked them back in his bag. And I didn't say a thing. And then it was lunchtime and we all went back and had a feed. And he's like, I swear I had a leader on those things.
You should have seen the look of disappointment on his face sitting in the boat when he's pulling out reel after reel and there's no leaders on him. It's like, I swear I tied this. Swear I tied this one. Nah, something's wrong here. I definitely tied a leader on this one.
So I got him back, which is kind of good.
Oh, dear. But, yeah, all weekend there was just someone to get up get a drink or something. A chair would be tipped over. They'd have to come back, pick up their chair, or a rooftop tent to get set up and someone would come steal a ladder off the rooftop tent.
Yep. That happened quite a few times. The old Buffalo got played a bit.
Oh, Buffalo. And if you haven't played Buffalo before, oh, my Lord, it's good fun. So you got to make sure you're not holding your beer in your dominant hand. If you ever get caught holding your beer in your dominant hand, got to scull it.
Yeah, someone's got to yell at Buffalo.
Buffalo, got to scull that beer.
Get some.
Poor old Ray. He was on the James Squire Ginger Beers all weekend.
Yep.
And he was halfway through. One got buffaloed, came back with a freshie, got again. Oh, poor bugger.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Oh, mate. And, yeah, first time Lawso fished Burrendong, and he was so impressed.
Mate, he was chuffed. I reckon what did he say he caught, 50 fish or something? 40 or 50 fish?
Something like that. Something ridiculous.
And, yeah, he's more than keen to come back. And it was good to have a few of the boys have a taste of Burrendong for their first time. Like,
yeah,
it is such a good fishery.
It wasn't super fired up like it had been a couple of weeks earlier, and we just had rain and it was cold. Like that weekend was cold.
Yeah, it dropped the water temp to 19 was the highest we could find.
So it was a bit of a cold snap. So they weren't the super fired up that we'd realised a couple of weeks before, but still good.
Yeah, that's
still
right.
Good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good on them. Came there, smashed them. Way they went happy.
Cracking weekend, mate.
I reckon. Now, mate, this week you had a bit of an oopsie.
I had an oopsie.
You had an oopsie. He's been cleaning out his shed all week, putting his lures away, putting them in certain tackle boxes. And, like, if you walk into his shed at the moment, he's got this big pegboard up on the wall, and it looks like a bloody tackle store, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's that many lures in packets now compared to his boxes.
I'm literally in process of putting everything in new boxes. So got a few Wilson tackle trays, and I think I ended up with, I might have got 10 and thought that was enough. Well, no way. I'm 3/4 through it now and I'm already running out of space. So I had this cardboard box set up in the garage and I was hanging all my big stuff on it. Then I was like, right, I'll get some bigger trays to fit these big swim baits. And surface and swim baits was the main thing hanging on this box. And, well, dickhead me has gone, I need a beer. And old mate Nick Reardon was over for a few beers in the shed and playing around with some fishing gear. And, I've stepped over, grabbed a beer out of the esky, went to step back and just clean collected this fucking surface lure straight off the side of the box.
Straight in the
and
leg.
she's drove in and I feel it already.
Didn't it hook on another lure or something and it drove it deeper?
Yeah, so this is a timber gobsmacked.
Yeah.
And when it come off the box, it ripped a gigantrel off. So I've had the timber lure, the gigantrel. So the hook's gone in one way, and by the time all the weight hit it, it had completely ripped itself 180 in my leg. I was like, oh, fuck, this is no good. I've done myself a mischief here. Like, somebody call the paramedic.
Who's the paramedic? Nick Reardon.
Yeah, Nick Reardon. And he said to me, well, what do I do? I said, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to rip this thing out before the pain actually sets in. And he's like, right. I said, my tinny's just parked out front of the garage, and I said, the pair of pliers sitting in there near the side gunnel. I said, grab them out. He's grabbed them out, and he's come back. He said, oh, shit, it's deep. He said, I don't know about this. I said, you'll be right, just get a hold of it and just give it a real good reef. And we actually had a bottle of rum sitting on the floor. So I poured a bit of rum on her and give myself a swig, and I said, yeah, all right, ready to go. And he said, you want me to count down? I was like, no, shit, no. You you fool wagger. Like, don't tell me nothing. So I'm staring at my wall, just trying to contemplate life and what I've done wrong. And
how did I end up here?
he's given an almighty reef, and I mean the fucking thing did not move an inch. And I could feel on his second reef, I could feel my muscles in my quad start to twicker, like they're all just twitching and carrying on. And I was like, "Oh, this ain't good. Like, that's touching nerves and shit." So I was like, "Oh, just pull up." And then the pain really started kicking in then, like we just moved it around a bit.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fuck, what do we do?" I said, "There's a reel with 30-pound braid on it right there. Cut a little bit off and give it some hell." So I wrapped the braid around the treble and I said, "When you do this, mate, you got to push the back of the treble hard onto my skin and rip down with the braid." Yeah, yep. Same thing. He asked me, did I want to count down? No, you do you. And
do that in your head.
Up and had another shot of rum and kipped a bit more on, and he just give it hell. And mate, come out clean as a whistle. And I was like, oh, thank God.
The old pull with the braid just
clean
pop
snap
straight out.
Yeah. And when you push on the shank of the treble, you push back into the muscles so the barb can't really catch anything. And we tore a hole. Those pliers just worked way too bad. So, yeah, it was me proper oopsie. And I said, fuck, the first thing I'm doing is moving that box over the sidewall so when I walk to that esky, I don't have to walk past it.
Nah.
And we sat there and had a good giggle. I actually walked inside the missus. I said, "We got any rolls of braid just sitting around?" She said, "No, why?" And I showed her my legs. She's like, "Nah, can't do it."
Dear, mate. The thing, have you heard of any other real bad stories of hooks in fingers, legs or whatever? Actually, Picker, he was in the other day and he said that he was fishing some lure and he got a hook in his thumb and the other end of the lure was still in the cod. He was reeling and I was like, oh, I can imagine that'd be a pretty hard place to be. Yeah, you got a fish thrashing in one end and still in your thumb in the other.
Yeah. I've witnessed one at Windermere with a couple of hooks in his finger. We used to have a fishing club in Orange through the old girls' pub and went to Windermere and I don't know if it was diving lure or what, but he ended up pretty much pinning two of his middle fingers together with the treble, like one hook in each finger, and the fish was still attached.
Oh, shit.
And, we couldn't get that fish. We could not get that hook out. He ended up going to hospital.
Hospital cut out.
Yeah. I've never had the point where I had to go to hospital. I've had plenty of hooks in me, but I think it's more the fact that I don't want to stop fishing. I'm just like, you do whatever you got to do to get that thing out. I don't care. Yeah, I've had some crackers. I remember jumping off the casting deck in my old Hornet with Corey and jamming 2 T-ends in my leg and still landing me fish. And he's like, we getting this thing out? Yep, let's do it.
Let's go.
There's some gruesome shit that happens with hooks. And
there's some gruesome ones online too. I'm like, There's one I've seen on Instagram, and I forget. I think it was actually on one of the Meat Eater Meat Eater on Instagram. This guy sent in a photo to him. He was cleaning up his backyard or cleaning up one of the local lakes or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But he picked up this rod that had just been left there.
Yeah.
Picked it up, flicked it around for whatever reason to try and get the line around, and still had a hook on the end of it.
Yeah, yuck.
Hook went straight through his eye. Oh, Lord. Yeah. So all the picture was this hook straight into his eye, and that's all you can see. I don't know how many hours of surgery that would have taken to get out. But, that's
next level. And that's why you wear sunnies.
Yeah, or even I know a few blokes that fish together late at night doing cod, and they wear safety glasses, clear safety glasses, just in case.
Oh, yeah. Like your eyes are a big thing. You got to look after them.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't see a log, you can't cast at it, can you?
No.
So something else I think I want to touch on this episode. So what I've seen a lot of people talking about is some people don't like fishing the river during cod close. I'm one of those people. I don't over like fishing the river during cod close.
Yeah, neither do I. Like if I can handle it, I won't change it.
But in saying that, it's all an addiction for us. And if we want to go fishing, there's still yellers, there's still carp, there's still catfish and all sorts of stuff in the river that you can target, silvers, whatever else.
Yeah, that's right.
And I just want to touch on a few points of how you can still go fishing and do it safely with not trying to impact the cod as much while you do it.
Exactly.
Yep. You still see a lot of people out there catching cod during close and you're like, were they targeting or is it just a bit of bycatch? And they're fired up. They're on the nest. They're going to smack anything that probably comes close to them.
Yeah.
So we're just thinking, why not just say what we do?
Yeah, let's dip into it. Yeah.
So when I go to the river fishing for yellers during cod close, straight off the bat, I'm using light gear. I generally don't go above 20 pound.
Yeah.
And probably the heaviest rod I go is like 3 to 5 kilo.
Yeah.
Generally, I'm
keep it light.
Yeah, 100 reel, 200 reel, something like that. Something nice and light, bait caster. Next thing for me is I like to chuck not like small stuff, like 50 mil orgies, 50 mil orgy plows, TN60s.
Yeah.
Small stuff.
You got to keep that in mind. Like cod are obviously a larger predator. They're gonna eat bigger lures.
That's
yes,
right.
They still eat small stuff, but you open up your opportunity if you go smaller.
Yeah, that's right. Like I've seen yellow belly caught on 100 mil orgy plows. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
But if you go down to that 50 sort of size, that's when you're more targeting towards those yellers and carp, silvers, whatever else.
And you got more chance of those cod leaving those lures alone.
Yeah, that's right. Like for me, I know cod, they're gutses. They can eat stuff that's half their size, literally half their size.
Oh, yeah. They'll give it a red hot crack too.
They will give it a red hot. And just that way, you knock out a few of those cod that aren't going to target the small stuff. But not only is it all about your gear selection and lure selection, probably the places that you fish.
Yeah.
So,
it is different structure in the river that you find
that's
yellers
right.
on.
Like I don't know about you, but for me, I try and find really sort of not tight timber, but spindly timber.
Yeah, the thin stuff. Yep.
Yeah, real thin, spindly timber.
Bit of slack water.
Bit of slack water, maybe just off like a bit of a flow, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I target the reeds. So if you find good reed patches, especially around sand, yabbies come up, nibble on the reeds, all that sort of stuff. That's where the yellers are going to hide to ambush the yabbies out of the reeds and small fish and that sort of stuff. So reeds, and the other big thing that I absolutely love is the spindly root balls that you get along the side of the river.
Yeah, good's a good root ball, eh? Yeah.
And yellers will hang on that spindly stuff, especially on an overhanger. I've found, like if you find that spindly stuff on an overhang that's in the water, just gently cranking through there, that's where I reckon you're going to catch a lot of yellers.
Yeah, so you got to think outside the box. You're not targeting areas that cod are going to be on purpose. Like, yes, you are going to catch cod, but there is also a way of dealing with this. That's right. If you catch a cod on a 60 mil diver and you're chasing yellers, don't get him out of the water. Just
unhook
pull
him.
the hooks out as quick as you can and try not even get him out of the water. Just quick as you can.
Yep.
That's simple. And you're not going to stress the fish. He's going to be right. And, it's a touchy subject, like you're in and out type of thing. You are chasing the right fish, but you can't not catch cod, which is the hard part. You can help.
Yeah,
try and target them.
Try and limit it, mitigate what you're trying to catch, but you're going to get bycatch. And that's probably the reason why I don't like fishing rivers during cod close. And it is perfect because it just aligns with the spring bite in dams. So for me, October to December, I'm heading to the dam and I'm catching yellers on edge. But even at the dam, we've had 2 cod as bycatch in the last couple of months, fishing yellers on edge.
Yeah, just the dam. And how many cod do you get out of Barnell? Fuck all.
Bugger all. So
it's
it's really
like-
one of those things that's hard to avoid as well.
Yeah, sorry, boys. We'll just
Get into a few.
get these ones out of the way. But, I've got something there. Like, I really don't fish the river much at all in this close season. But I thought, you know what? I've got an afternoon. I want to go fish the local. And went down and threw some little lures for some yellers. And we did get 3 yellers. We dropped 2. But... we did have an encounter with a cod.
Yeah.
And it was quite eye-opening, to be honest.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, so...
Just in size or how it acted or...
No, we never hooked it.
Yeah.
I actually had a yeller on.
So you caught a yeller, reeling it back?
Yeah, so we had a muddy bank, and as you're going back just talking about spindly stuff, there was a little branch with... fuck all to it. Little shrub, and through beside it, 5 turns of the handle. I reckon he was probably a 50 centimetre yeller.
Oh, so pretty decent out of the
he's
river.
good.
That's heaps good.
Good fish out of the river. And, he's popped up, and halfway back, it's just gone like a real big deep thump. I was going, shit.
Oh, righto, yeah.
I said, what was that? Like, and I still didn't know what it was, and then got the yeller to the side of the boat. And as the yellers come into sight, this big green girl decided to
Have a crunch.
that was her lunch. And mate, she grabbed this yeller and it blew my mind. Like, I just watched this fish just get eaten, and still
Nothing you
touching
can
my
do
line.
about it too.
Nah, there wasn't, mate. And I was just like, holy shit. And it peeled a little bit of line off me, and then it was just game over. Like, she won the battle.
Yeah.
And that's what you do when you use like gear. Like, I never stress
that's
that
right.
fish out. And
She
it
was just
wasn't
getting
like,
a feed with a little bit of fight back on it.
yeah. So I haven't seen that for a while. I've definitely seen it in the past times. I had a 69 centimetre cod get eaten by a meteorite at the side of the kayak. And this is another situation where I had a cod eat a yeller. And mate, it happens all the time, but Jesus Christ, I know where she lives when the cod opening comes, mate.
You know where
Big
you're going
old
for
swim
cod
bait.
opening now.
Oh, 100%, yeah. But, like, it was an area that I wouldn't expect a cod.
Yeah.
It was quite crazy. Like, shit, we were, I reckon, in a metre of water and just a mud flat.
Yeah, okay.
Like stuff you'd drive past.
Yeah.
And, it was quite unfortunate. It was really cool to see.
Yeah. But
I'm so glad my hooks never went in her.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
She went back to, if she was on a nest.
Well, got a feed, probably went back to the nest, had a munch and digest.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was really cool. But
Yeah. So I guess, we're just trying to raise awareness about targeting certain species in close season.
yeah,
Because it's not great to see, and you do see it a little bit of people targeting cod. And actually, probably furthermore to that, if you do post a cod up on social media, say it goes up on one of the Murray cod pages or whatever, probably tell us where it's come from, because Queensland season's way different than New South Wales. I think Victoria might be different as well. I'm not sure.
with cod.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause-
it's some dams are open.
Oh, yeah, Copeton and Eildon are open full year round.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Queensland at the moment is already open. Like, their close season's done.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure, because I just saw a guy put up a couple of photos of cod and he said, open season in Queensland just started, blah, blah, blah. Here's a couple of cod from the first week. And I was like,
What was it, like Glen Lyon or something?
not sure. Not sure
wow.
where it was from. But
yeah, that's very new to me. That's cool.
Like, it's just a friendly thing. You're not going to get kickback from the community by putting up a cod just saying, hey, boys, just reminiscing about this cod I caught such and such in New South Wales
Yeah.
in open season. But if you put up a cod with, oh, yeah, we've got this cod so long, and people are like, oh, it's cod close season. No. You're just not going to get harassed like that. If you just put a little bit of extra information about it,
Yeah.
it's just going to go over a bit smoother.
Yeah, open the story up a bit.
Yeah, that's right. You haven't got to tell us which way the wind was blowing on which lure and
What was
how
the water temp? And,
how your tongue was pointing before how you caught it. But
yeah. And like another thing while we're on this topic too is like cod season, we're literally 2-3 weeks away now.
Yeah.
And when we get into the big girls, if you want a good photo of the mighty trophy fish you catch, like bit of support. If you don't know much about fish handling, you're always under the belly.
Yep.
Support the head, support the belly, keep them even. Don't swing them by the jaw.
No, that's how you break spines, crack necks, and fuck their gills up.
Yeah, that's right. You can stretch their gills out. So, like, if you've got a 30, 40 pound fish and you hold him by the bottom jaw with a pair of lip grips, he might swim off, but there's not a real good chance of him swimming.
No, that's
the
right.
Next day.
Yeah, and I have unfortunately seen a few big cod go up on social media, and they've been meteries plus, and they're holding them just by the lower jaw, and you can just start to see that blood run out of the side of their gill plates.
Yeah.
And at that point, something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
It could have just been a bad hook or something like that, but the way some of these heads are angled when you're grabbing their bottom jaw and their guts are hanging down, it's not good.
Yeah. So, a bit of fish care. Look after them.
Goes a long way.
And then they're there till next time. They're there for your kids, hopefully.
They're there for everyone else to enjoy.
We've touched on it before. You can see how much the cod have come back in the last 10 years in our river systems. It's next level.
So good and so proud about everyone doing their bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This catch and release thing is huge, and it's just getting bigger and better.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Now, mate, we have had a few stories come in, which is pretty cool.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. So there's one story that was sent in by Craig. It's a pretty funny one. So it goes a little like this. It goes, "Hi guys, just a quick fishing tale. It was a family holiday at Port Hacking, New South Wales. We were staying right on the waterfront and fishing was a must for my brother and I. One day we decided to row out in a little old boat and go out for a fish. No motor, just old school oars. We went out a little ways and dropped anchor. I can't remember how long we fished for or even if we caught anything, but we decided to head back and my older brother started rowing us back. So after about 15, 20 minutes or so of rowing or fishing, I noticed our dad on shore waving at us. My brother and I wondered what the hell he was wanting, and it looked like he was trying to yell something at us. I couldn't quite make it out what he was saying, but I did hear in the distance, "You fucking idiots." Then we noticed he was laughing and my head sank in embarrassment as I realised what he was trying to tell us. I looked at my brother, still rowing, and said, "The fucking anchor's still out."
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Turns out we had forgotten to bring the anchor in and had been rowing around in circles the whole time. It was the most embarrassing thing I've ever felt as we finally got to shore and our dad had to let everyone know and come watch us idiots row in circles for 15 minutes. Still to this day, if my brother and I get together for a fish, our dad makes sure to remind us of how we rowed in circles, clueless as we were getting nowhere. Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it?
That is good.
Have you done any silly things like that, mate?
Yeah.
Tried to take off a boat and you're still tied up to a willow or something?
Mate, I'd love to know how many shrimp traps I've cut off at.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. When we used to bait fish as kids, mate, and Uncle Russ just take us up the river, like he'd always throw the shrimp trap over at every spot. The amount that prop took, because you'd untie and push off the bank and go to fly up river, and next minute where's the shrimp trap going? And you've cut her off, and thanks for coming. There's all your bait gone.
See you later.
Yeah, done that a few times actually.
Oh, really? That's a bit sad, mate.
It is sad.
I must say, I have done this once. I tied off to a branch that was just underwater in my kayak. So you don't really have the indicator of the rope above the water. I've gone to take off and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I must have been hung up on the log or something, looking around and realise I've still got the rope tied onto the log underwater.
I've got a good one about Corey getting attacked by a few wasps being tied up.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it was me, Corey, and Uncle Russ fishing the river once again, and Uncle Russ decided to park up behind this willow tree, and he said to Corey's at the front of the boat, and said, "Oh mate, just tie up the one of them branches there." And he's grabbed this branch and given a fucking almighty shake as he's tying it up, and he got the knot tied, and then all of a sudden he's fucking launched himself in the front of the tinny and just headbutted me in the leg, and I'm like, you just corked me leg. Like, I'm about to feed him for corking me leg. And I could see his hands going around just whacking his face and shit. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And Uncle Russ he knows exactly what's happened. So he's got the motor in reverse, full whack. And I've looked forward and I could see all these wasps. And I was like, holy shit. And he's like, mate, this tinny was nearly going to pull this fucking willow tree over. And Corey's like, can I cut the rope? Can I cut the rope? And Uncle Russ has passed a knife up, and you could see him like half crawling up, and he's just trying to nick the rope at the front of the boat, and he's cut it. And yeah, Corey's allergic to bees.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And this is the first time he'd been like proper swarmed by wasps. I'm like, oh shit, like, is he going to have to go to hospital?
Yeah.
And about 20 minutes later, Uncle Ross was like, get in the water. Like, this is winter. It's cold.
Ooh.
He said, get in the water, lower your body temperature.
Yeah, right.
We'll see how you feel.
A bit of bush medicine.
Yeah, and it was cold. I felt sorry for him. And he jumped back in the boat, can flat out see. His eyes are puffed over. He can't see shit. And, and even Uncle Russell was like, do you want to go home? He said, no, I want to keep fishing. He could hardly see. I don't know how he could see himself getting a bite. Like,
he's
that
so
was next
passionate
level.
about fishing, but he is so passionate.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so we fished the rest of the day and went home, and yeah, he never got crooked, but yeah, mate, he couldn't see. He was fully blown up in the eyes.
Poor bugger. Now, I actually heard an interesting story about you and Corey fishing the other day about a place called Mulguffrey's.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yep, that's on the Lachlan.
On the Lachlan, yeah, and you were talking about how long these catfish can actually live out of water. Like you'd found a few catfish on the bank or something after the water had seeded or whatever.
Yeah, we found, I think it was 2 catfish in the keeper's net.
So obviously someone's just left it there.
Someone's just left it there.
Yeah. Shit.
And which you can't keep catfish.
No,
So-
definitely not.
And
Not in the rivers at least.
Not in
some
rivers,
dams you can, but
And yeah, as we walked down there, they were stiff as a board, mate. Like, they were dry.
bit
And
like
we're
that
like-
carp that ended up in the live well.
And we're like, we'll tip these fish out and we'll keep the keepers net. Like,
Yeah.
why not? And my cousin Luke, he's gone down and tipped a catfish on the edge of the water. And within about 5 minutes, they're kicking and starting to swim. And I was like, no
What
way.
the hell?
Like, these things were dry.
Stiff as a board.
Yeah, it was just insane to see, like, how long those fish can survive out of water
Yeah.
and swim away. Like,
Unreal.
I picked them up and they were stiff like a carp dead on the bank. Like, oh.
I've got a bit of a story. So I've kept fish in fish tanks all my life, or
Yeah.
most of my life. Anyway, I used to have these kissing fish. You ever seen a big pink fellas and they come together and they start kissing? I used to have yeah, well, they're called kissing fish. I used to have a pair of these kissing fish in a tank. Anyway, I must have left the lids off or something after a feed, and one's jumped out and sat on the tile floor. Anyway, I've come out of the bedroom in the morning and seen this fish on the floor and gone, crap, he's dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, picked him up and I was like, I wonder, I know a couple of fish can survive staying out of the water for a while. I put him in a little bowl on the kitchen bench. After about half hour, he came back to life. I could not believe it. And he was dry as a board.
That's next level.
So I think just to round out the episode, we got another story sent in to us from Dylan. And he said that, hey lads, still loving the podcast. Midway through episode 10, you guys have been brought up the cod PBs and how you've jumped to X to Z sizes and it's hard to beat that PB. So I thought I'd give you a little yarn about mine. Little context, but been fishing my whole life, caught cod and yellows on bait but never on lures. Started using lures early in my teens, catching redfin and whatnot. Ended up going out with a bloke through a friend of a friend and said he'd help me catch a cod. Turns out I did end up catching 2 little cod that morning that didn't even break over 40 centimetres each. But that's how you start, isn't it? Like,
That's it.
Fantastic. So fast track year or so after I started a new job, and my brother said this bloke we work with loves his fishing and he'd take me out if I wanted because he's been fishing for years and had a boat. We were talking and whatnot about PBs, and he said he hasn't caught a metre cod yet, and neither had I. So I'm from Bathurst, and after work that arvo, we went out to Ben Chifley Dam. We were into some nice redfin on a TN80. There was a couple up the back of the dam that were yelling at us. Their boat had broken down. He said, mate, we're going to have to tow them back to the boat ramp, even though it was just getting to the last light. And he told me it's pretty much a golden hour for cod.
Yeah.
We towed them to the ramp, and after many thanks, we jetted back to our spot. By this point, it was just on sunset. That is the dream time, really.
That is, yeah.
Half an hour into trawling this bank, I nailed a 112 cod.
What a fish for your first
How
metre.
good is that? He's got a photo here, and it's a bopper. Safe to say, the next day at work, there were that many laughs, and he said he'd never take me again. That is cracker, isn't it?
Isn't it what? Appreciate that, mate, too.
Yeah, thanks for sending it in.
Well, yeah, and if you guys have got a story like that,
Yeah.
please send them in. We love reading them out and we love hearing them.
Yeah.
There's some absolute ball terrors of stories out there.
For sure. And it just goes to show, like, it doesn't matter if you've fished for cod all your life or just started fishing, you're always in with a chance to catch a meatery.
Oh, 100%.
That's what I always think. Every time I go fishing, I'm like, I've got a chance.
Yeah.
There's always a chance. Like, I've heard people that go out for their first day ever cod fishing on lures or bait or whatever,
Yeah.
and they bang a meter and they're like, oh, that wasn't that fucking hard.
Yeah. Like, even as me, I reckon it took me 4 or 5 years to catch one.
Yeah.
And I fished pretty hard. Like,
As a kid. But you just never know what's on that next log.
No, you can't catch a cod on the lounge, so
Get out there and do it. Yeah. I reckon we might round this one out. Just a couple of mentions.
yeah.
So just a reminder, everyone, we've still got the biggest Yeller comp running until December 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had some boppers entered. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, the biggest one so far is 68.
Yeah. That's going to take some beating.
That is it.
That is going to take some beating. And as we've said before, we think Lake Hume is a cracking fishery, and that's where this one came from.
Yeah.
It was actually caught at the Lake Hume Classic.
Yeah.
So that's going to take some beating. They're out there. Az has caught a 69 out of Burrendong before.
Yep.
I've seen some 70s, seen some 74s come out of some places, but
There's 65 in the COVID Cup, so
that's right. That's not too far off.
there's some big fish out there.
Yeah, that's right.
But also don't forget, send the photos in of any size because we do have a mystery length
Mystery
as well.
prize. Let's go.
So you could win it with a 33.
That's right. And we'll draw that one randomly out of the hat, and
Yeah.
they'll be happy with what we're going to give them. It'll be a good little prize.
Yeah. So only a few weeks left. Dig your heels in and open up on the 1st December. So let's go.
Bloody oath. Well, we've even had a fella. He didn't enter the comp, but he came into the shop and he caught a 66 out of the river.
Yeah, 66 out of the river. That's the biggest yellow I've seen come out of Macquarie.
Ningen, was it?
No, it was Warren.
Warren. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, unreal. So there's some good quality fish getting around at the moment, that's for sure.
Mate, absolutely huge. I had a young fella as well today, enter one in for the mystery length, 55 out of the river.
Banger.
Cracking fish. Like,
So good.
yeah, it's good to see there's some fish still around and absolute horses as well. So.
They're not all getting taken out. They're getting put back and looked after, which is good.
That's right.
They're no good eating at that size. I don't think anything over 40 is that good eating, to be honest.
Yeah, smaller the better.
Yeah.
It's like a sheep, mate. The lamb of the go.
The other thing is, Don't forget to check out our socials. We got Instagram, Facebook, and TikToks.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple of awesome lures up at the moment for the mental health lure
Oh,
board.
do we what?
And Az is absolutely chomping at a bit over one of them. Tell us
That's
about
right,
it, mate.
It's Carl Jacobson signed Depths glide bait, and mate, this thing is. Oh, it gets me excited. So if you want to check this lure out, jump onto our Facebook, have a look, have a bid if you guys are keen. We've done a little video as well.
Yeah,
and
go along
show
with
it off a bit.
It's that special. We had to get our big heads on film for it.
Yeah, it's one of a kind. And yeah, Carl Jacobson, the Australia's best angler. So literally, he's represented Australia over in the States, and this is a lure signed by him. Yeah.
How cool is that?
I'm really excited to see how this goes.
And we've also got a relic dock up there on auction as well.
Yep.
1990s never swum relic dock.
And relic dock backwards. What does that say, mate?
Cod killer.
Cod killer. So it's one of the
OGs.
OGs.
No idea how many times that took me to record to get it right.
Yeah, so yeah, more than happy. Yeah, jump on our socials. The lure auctions are going absolutely strong. It is so good to see.
Give yourselves a round of applause, everyone that's helped donate a lure or bid on a lure, whatever else. We're so chuffed with the support we're getting.
Amen. Yeah. And myself and Dane, we've jumped on board with Are You OK? Those guys are unreal. They're supporting us. They love what we're doing and what you guys are doing to help. So if you guys have got lures you'd like to donate to help out this great cause, please get in contact with us, send it to us, and raise a bit of money for this head noise getting around.
Yep. Get rid of it.
Let's do.
Righto, we'll end on that.
Too easy. And one quick one is we've also got Cod Tales mental health brag mats coming.
Yes, very soon.
Should be here for cod opening in a couple of weeks.
Ooh, let's go.
So, yeah, keep an eye out for that on our socials as well. We will be selling those and donating some money to
mental health. Profits
which is
go to mental health.
Through Are You OK? So keep an eye out, guys.
Let's do it.
Thanks, guys.
So, see you later.
See yous.